Well, is that the first time an Australian team has gone through the Super Rugby competition and not lost to another Australian team?
Correct.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And then I think that's the first time we finished top of the conference since 2013. So, yeah, not too bad.
Very good.
Obviously a disappointing game, but disappointing second half. I think the first half was a good display of gritting it out, particularly the first half of that first half, and then the second half of the first half, I think we finally found our rhythm a little bit there. Came out after half time and looked a little bit promising, but yeah, we just dropped too much ball. I think they dropped a lot of ball as well. It became a bit of a defensive game. The pleasing thing for us is that we really didn't let them score a try except for that intercept try, so defence was good tonight.
A couple of different schools of thought. One side is you've won and you're through to the next stage, you're in the finals. The other school of thought is, was that performance good enough to get you to where you want to be, which is winning a championship?
It's irrelevant. It's what we do this week now. I think you have your ups and downs in the tournament, and certainly the second half was a half that we're not particularly happy with, but it's all irrelevant now. It's about putting it behind you, taking the things that you can take out of it, and moving on to the next job.
So confident, I guess a win does build some sort of momentum for you guys, doesn't it? Just to get that feeling back around the group. I mean, you've got a guy like Poe coming back in as well, so going into a finals week, it's a boost.
Yeah, it will be. I think the boys sort of need to get over the game. So there's a fair few disappointed boys in there. I know we got the win and we were in the finals, but there's a fair bit of disappointment in there with the way that we played in the second half. But give them a good sleep tonight and a good recovery tomorrow, and come back in on Monday in preparations for Friday. I think the boys will be pretty buzzing.
No, we've asked you plenty of times this season, but everyone's talking about the divide between Kiwi teams and Australian teams. But you're confident now that you're in the finals. It's a clean slate and you can beat anyone.
Yeah, I think we've played the Highlanders this year, and we're probably disappointed with the result of that game. We wet conditions, we attacked really well. We probably didn't kick as well as we should have, and they probably found a bit better balance with their kicking game. And I think we've learnt from that, so we certainly reviewed that game and learned from it. But yeah, we've had our troubles with the New Zealand teams. We'll make sure that our preparation, like every week, is as good as it can be, so that one, we learn from those mistakes, and two, give ourselves the best opportunity to play well.
Christian, how did you, sum up that performance similar to Bernie? It gets you through, but disappointing?
Yeah, I'm probably one of the more disappointed ones, especially as a game controller and things like that. I was disappointed with the errors we made and just couldn't really build any momentum, which was frustrating. But something we'll look back on, and I don't think it's going to hurt us too much. I think it's a good learn for us heading into this part of the season, to be able to adapt in those situations and to get the win and defend the way we defend. I'm pretty pleased with, and there's some good individual performances as well. I thought Aiden was outstanding, and it's just good to see him in space. And then the forwards scrum time was perfect again.
Did the Waratahs result have any impact on how you played, do you think? Just knowing that you only needed to not lose by pull the name?
No, not at all. We came in with a clear focus and a plan with the way we wanted to play, and I guess that's what's probably the most disappointing, is that we didn't really execute what we wanted to. But we've got another week to prepare now and get it right next week.
Can you put it down to anything in particular? Why?
Obviously the pressure that the Western Force applied on us, which is probably good for us heading into next week, to be able to handle the defensive pressure that teams are putting on us, and we just got to adapt better in attack. I think our attack got a bit lost at times there, and as a game caller, controller, is disappointing on my end to not boss the boys around enough.
Byrne said have a good sleep and move on from it. How important is it not to be too downcast about the fact that you are playing a final at home?
Yeah, I think it's pretty important to recover well. We've got another opportunity next week. Most teams are packed up now, and it's anyone's race now. I think it's exciting. Obviously, after we get over this disappointment or the win, but the little disappointments we have individually. We'll come in on Monday, I think, buzzing that we've got an opportunity to push forward in this comp.
Only a couple of nice ones with Christian and Ryan early as well. How's everyone?
Yeah, I think we've come through the game fairly unscathed, so I haven't had a full report from the doc yet, but I'd normally have concerns brought to me by now, so I think we're pretty good.
Bryce, how are you feeling? It looked like early on, kind of played through a bit of pain in the shoulder.
Yeah, not too bad. Was a little bit under the weather, but yeah, I just tried to push on as much as I could, and finally got a break from the coach there, which was nice.
Is that your first one this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Other than the blood bin,
Time.
but
Brazzy's been crook
yeah.
all week as well, so
yeah,
you've had a tough week, haven't you?
yeah.
But nothing that'll keep you down, like risk you for next week.
No, everything's all good.
Poet?
Nothing's changed with Poe. He trained with us last week and trained quite well, so did Jordan Smaller. So they've got to get cleared by the doctor, but it looks like they're on track to be in contention to be selected.
Where do you, I know you normally name your team on a Wednesday this week, I think, given the short turnaround.
Yep.
But do you give them up until kick-off to get the clearance that game?
Well, it depends when we can actually get it from the doctor. I think there's a time period from the initial injury that we sort of had to wait for. So depending on what that is, yeah, we'll make a decision. We'll make the decision internally like we always do, and then let you know on Wednesday.